YouTube, welcome back to the channel, man. You know what it is. It's your man, Mr. Martin 405, back with another quick video. Excuse me. Player was out messing with the Corvette this afternoon after taking care of some business, and figured I'd hit y'all with a quick video, man. Doing a little bit of maintenance. Why not share? So, be right back. So, with that being said, let's get a look at what we doing. All right, so got the headlight assembly out. If you have, I think anywhere between an 86 to I think an 89, maybe a 90. I think they changed it in like 91. Should be about 5 or 6 screws to get your assembly out. I think I had 2 at the bottom. These 2 over here. I want to say it was 5. These, and then I think one of these up here. So I think this was for my actual headlight motor. So, yeah. Now I have an 88, so 2 at the bottom, there's 2 on the side, and I think it was this one here. And then I was able to pull it out, of course, after unplugging my headlight motor, and of course all of the wiring harness that comes along with that. So don't know if you guys are looking to change out your headlight motors, if you have C4s, or you know what I mean, any of the Corvette models that the headlights flip up. I don't know any of the issues that people may have had outside of the 80s models, and having to deal with these headlight motors having their issues with these gears on the inside. But my passenger headlight would have issues sometime, either going all the way up or going all the way down, or just not coming up at all once it gets to those grinded gears. So needless to say, I really had to get that fixed. So I decided to drop a quick video. I didn't drop all of the info as far as what I had to do, so I'll just kind of give y'all a nutshell of everything that I had to do to get the old motor out. But I'll let y'all ride along with me while I put the new one in. But what I had to do is I had to take out 3 screws, of course, in our old assembly. There were 2 screws down here at the bottom. The last screw, which was just attached down here at the bottom, I think from all of the other info that I pulled up, you just kind of had to loosen this one down here at the bottom to be able to get to the second one, which is here when it's mounted on here, because this bracket is kind of blocking the screw that you need to get to down here at the bottom. After taking those 2 screws out, or I took all 3 out, these 2 as well as the one that's back down off in here. Hopefully you can see that. But yeah, a little screw hole down off in here. After I got those 3 screws out, it was pretty much loose. And then after which, I had to knock the little pin out of here to get this to release our old, decrepit, non-100% functioning motor out of there. So now we're about to put the new one in. Let's go. for a quick recap, being that I didn't get all of the footage taking the old motor off of there, you got your 3 screws and a pin. 3 screws are gonna be this one down here at the bottom, this one up top, as well as this screw here. Once you take these 3 screws out and that pin, then that'll get your old motor off. But to make that much easier, get my camera to cooperate, you have to loosen this bracket, which loosening the bracket, see if I can get down in there. That hole right there is where one of my screws go and holds this bracket in place, as well as this screw here. Once you loosen those 2 screws, then you'll be able to lift that up to get to that screw. Because with that screw, those screws tightened, this is how your bracket's gonna sit. And you're gonna have all kind of problems trying to get this bottom screw out. So that'll help you get this up to where you can get those out. And then of course, getting it all back together, of course, once you get your screws back in, or get your pin back in, get your screws back in, which I've already put the 2 bottom ones in. I'm gonna finish the rest of the assembly here in a second. But just trying to give you the information so in that way you don't run into some of the issues that I had. But yeah, get those 2 screws back in there, get your new motor lined up, get your pin in there, and then you put this screw in here, and then you'll be good as far as your motor's concerned. But then you want to get your screws back in for your bracket, so that's all good and tight. And then of course, you get all your screws back in, getting your housing back on. So let's jump back in. All right, so new motor in. Now we just need to throw our light back in. I posted on a couple of our Corvette groups on Facebook because it seemed like this passenger side light was a little bit off. I may not have OCD like the best of them, but it just seemed like it wasn't fitting like this side here. See how flush that is all the way around? With this one over here, you'll see when I put it back in, it's a little bit of a gap down here at the bottom, which I think I solved my mystery after I took this light out. And I think basically they had replaced this side with another light just because of the chalk that they have at the bottom of it saying what year and what kind of Corvette it was. The other one doesn't say that. So leads me to believe they had issues with this light, some kind of damage, something like that. So anyway, rambling on, let's jump into it, get this other light put back in. Let's go. All right, man, so that's gonna wrap it up for this video. I wish I would have thought about it before I pulled the headlight off to show y'all the whole process, but like I said, it's like 6 or 7 screws to completely remove the housing itself, which I feel like it's a whole lot easier taking the whole housing off and then trying to get your motor out versus trying to do it on car, which some people have done it just leaving the entire housing and all of that mounted up. But I feel like it was much easier taking it off because I almost started to take mine off as well. But got it all done, like I said, 6 or 7 screws to remove the housing. And then there are 3 screws and a pin to pull your old motor off. But to make it that much easier, the bracket that holds that on there, it has 2 screws. So I would loosen up those 2 screws to be able to get to all your screws on your headlight motor, and then you can get it switched out of there. Outside of that, man, when you're putting it all back together, just making sure that your bracket, of course, you tighten that back down once you get done. But there's another smaller bracket that sits on the inside of your headlight motor to kind of give it a little bit more stability. Making sure that's in there, all your washers and all that good stuff inside of that bracket are on there. And then, of course, just getting it bolted back up on there and making sure your headlight is lined up the way that it's supposed to be. So I'm thinking I may do a follow-up video when I change the other one, because the driver's side one is working pretty good now. But you know how it goes. You change one thing, something else goes wrong. So when I do, I'll actually do a little bit more in depth on pulling that housing so you guys can see, being that I didn't get it in on this one. But until next time, man, appreciate y'all. Continue to like, comment, and subscribe. Many more videos coming as I continue to restore the Corvette, as well as all of the other content I plan on bringing you guys with the Durango. So holla at y'all. Peace.